Okay, let's just hope that I have a better intro than this because honestly, like, I don't know. Well, hi everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be obviously reading A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. I uploaded reading the first two books, spoiler-free reading vlog, but like doing a spoiler-free reading vlog for this book would practically be impossible. It would just be me gasping at the book. I did start this book on the Spotify graphic audio, and I feel like I need to take advantage of that because I did buy it. And the only reason I bought it was because this is a really big book and I'm going to need a little bit of help. And also, I need to swallow this before I just start talking. I'm just talking with food in my mouth. And I also bought the graphic audio because I can definitely foresee myself wanting to read it again in the future. Like, I think I might want to listen to all of it again with the audio because I think it'd be really cool because like with what I do for work, I can listen to books while I work all the time and it's actually really nice. But basically, at the end of A Court of Mist and Fury, I did listen to Carrie Can Read's video. She gives really good recaps. I'm sure y'all know about it. The first chapter in here is Rhysand's point of view. So then after that, so we're kind of back with Feyre's point of view in a sense, and she basically tells everything that happened at the end of A Court of Mist and Fury. So you don't necessarily have to do a recap if you want to get into this, but I just did it because I'm dumb and I forget everything. She's back in the Spring Court, which is actually nuts, and she's pretending to like love Tamlin, and literally Feyre and Rhysand already got, or Rhysand. Feyre and Rhysand already got married. Well, it's more than a marriage. She is the High Lady of the Night Court now, and basically she's going back to the Spring Court with Tamlin, pretending to still love Tamlin, but she's being a spy for them. So what I'm really curious about to figure out in this, if Lucien and Elain are actually going to get together. I really wondered if like Elain and Azriel would get together because I feel like they'd just be a cute couple, but like I don't know how Lucien and Elain are going to work. So, okay, what I'm finding out in the first 43 pages of this book is how oblivious Tamlin is of everything, because Lucien already suspects something of Feyre because Feyre obviously isn't really back in love with Tamlin at all. She isn't really wanting to be there. And Lucien kind of senses something's going on. And Alice does as well. Alice is like the maid that helped Feyre in the first book, I believe. Hey, maid or something like that. But so what I'm learning is Tamlin is kind of an idiot. Jurian brought Highburn royals, okay, with him to the Spring Court because now Jurian and Tamlin and now the Highburn royals are kind of working together, and I think it has something to do with fixing the wards or something like that. But like Tamlin was like, oh, like the twins. He's like, I can have like separate rooms for all y'all, and literally the girl twin. There's like twins. One Brienne and Dragna. I don't know their names, but she was like, no, me and my brother will share a room. I thought that was like kind of funny. I was like, but realistically, I think it's because they just have like this power that I'm thinking maybe they have some sort of power and they can only be together to use it, maybe, or something like that. So that's why I think that maybe she doesn't want to be separated from them. But at first I was like, ew. This is my first time listening to graphic audio, and I think it's really, really cool. And I know we don't like Tamlin or Lucien that much, but like Lucien's voice is really attractive. Like, it's probably the most attractive so far to me. I love how they're like inserting the sound effect of his eye, because obviously one of his eyes is like, you know, a robot. And Feyre pointed out a really weird question. I think she was like, not a weird question, a really good question. And I think like this might come up later, but she was literally like, what do you see in that? What do you see through that eye anyway? Because it's like metal and stuff. And he stayed silent. So I wonder if that's going to come back later, because what does he see out of that eye? It's very interesting. Feyre and Rhysand can still talk telepathically, even though they're very far away. Rhysand took Feyre's sisters and they're taking care of them somewhere else. So Feyre really did all of them a big solid and basically is staying with them to kind of keep them at bay for a little bit. But yeah, I hope that I can follow along with this book because like I feel like, I mean, I don't feel like, I know a lot's gonna happen, and I'm worried for what is to come because this is the last book to like Feyre's story in a sense, and I know people are gonna die. It's gotta happen. If everyone came out not dead, that'd be very shocking. But I'm really enjoying the graphic audio. I may follow along with the book with the graphic audio too, because I really like the graphic audio. And yeah, so anyway, that's that book, and I will check in later. Okay, so it's kind of confusing because I'm trying to like film a reading, like a spoiler-free reading vlog of just me reading books for a week, and a spoiler reading vlog for Core Boons and Ruins, so I'm trying to like catch up with that. So they're trying to find a way to get into the human realm, because that's how, like, from the spring court you can get to the human realm, because you remember how Feyre came in. She came in from the human world to the spring court. So basically they're trying to figure out how to open the wall, and they need like magic, but they think the cauldron, like, since the cauldron used a boots, since the cauldron changed, like, okay, bear with me here, I'm trying to understand. Feyre's sisters were dipped into the cauldron and they were turned into Fae. The cauldron's power is like used up or something. So they're trying to figure out a way into the wall without use of the cauldron. I could be way wrong, I don't know. But anyway, they're trying to figure out how to get to the human realm and get the humans and overpower the humans and then take them in as their slaves, and then I guess start the war or something, or have them on their side or whatever. So we've learned a lot more about Lucien's character, and it was so sweet and sad because Feyre really liked Lucien. Feyre really liked him, and he really liked her, and then this whole time he's kind of like suspicious of Feyre because he's like, he knew when she got there that she wasn't fully like on their side anymore. He just had a feeling, and so did Alice. Alice had a feeling too, and apparently Alice handed Feyre to Moore when Feyre was having all that stuff going on in the second book, when she wanted to leave so bad. Tamlin trapped her in the tower or whatever, so apparently Alice handed her to Moore. And then, so now Alice kind of knows what's going on, and she's actually going to be returning to her home, to the summer court. We had a big thing happen with the prince and princess. I forget their names. It's like Brianna and Dragna. You guys might remember in the first book when Feyre was like selling her that fur pelt on the streets, there were these people and these humans that really believed in the Fae and stuff. They had a name. I don't remember what they're called, but basically 3 of those kinds of people crossed from the human realm to the spring court, in a sense. They were at that border barrier or whatever. And then Feyre was trying to like warn them with her like mind powers. And then because they needed to leave, but like they wanted to stay, and she's like, you know, hey, no, you gotta leave. And then the prince and princess kind of wanted to like teach him a lesson and like kill him basically, and Feyre stopped him from doing that. And then while Feyre was sleeping or something happened. They killed the humans. They killed them, and they left their torn up dead bodies all over. And Lucien also saw this, and he was not happy about it at all. Lucien's kind of an interesting character because, like, I don't fully know if he's going to go back to Tamlin, because after that occurred, Feyre went absolute crazy and killed them, and killed the prince and princess. And wait, no, she sent the bog after them first, and Tamlin found out about that, and he was really upset because he sided with them for a reason. And this is just gonna make things worse between them, and potentially, like, with the agreement they had, it doesn't look good for Tamlin. And he was like furious. And then so Feyre sent the bog after them, and then apparently this whole time Feyre has been trying to contact Rhysand through her like mind powers or whatever, right? And then she kind of describes it being very like foggy. She can't really understand what he's saying. Like, it's not as crystal clear as it used to. Turns out the prince and princess were messing with their food and everything this whole time, putting in this kind of like stuff to dwindle her powers enough to where her powers are going to be completely gone for like a couple days. So then at that point, they like went to attack Feyre, and then Feyre killed them. So yeah. And Lucien helped, and Tamlin and Jurian weren't around. They were out hunting or something. So then I was surprised that Lucien actually, I keep changing the name up, but I was really surprised that he went with Feyre. He's like, I want to make sure Elaine is safe, which I don't know how the Lucien and Elaine are going to turn out, because it's like, Elaine, I forgot, she's already engaged to somebody, like a regular human guy. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, and I'm really curious to see what happens when they like talk to each other. And it was so sweet because it was snowing and stuff, and Lucien's brothers were after them. That's a whole different thing, but I'm sure you probably already know. But then they were stuck in this cave while it was snowing, and they were like so cold, and then they were trying to get their mind off of it, and Lucien's like, what's Elaine like? And I'm like, oh, he's like, what's she like? I have about 20 minutes left in like this section of the book, and then out of the whole thing I have like 2 hours and 27 minutes left, and I actually have no idea how many hours I have left. I'm gonna be really sad when they run out. So Feyre and Rhysand just put their rings back on each other, like their like I guess wedding rings, mate rings, I don't know, whatever in a sense. And Lucien, I'm so sorry, that's gonna be really annoying throughout the video. He saw the rings in their hands and then was like kind of snarled. And I feel like it's so weird that he's there with them. And I have a feeling he's gonna die. I don't know why. Out of everybody in this book, I feel like Elaine, not. I don't know if Elaine's gonna die. But like, I think Moore's gonna die. Maybe Azriel. I hope not. And Lucien. I feel like they're gonna die. And if I'm right, that's gonna be very, like, sad, but, like, funny that I got it right. But, yeah. So, now I can't believe he's there. So, Rhysand is now kind of, like, in a way threatening him. But I feel like this is so weird. Like, how are they gonna turn out? Are they gonna make it? But if he dies, obviously they won't make it. But, like, I wonder if Elaine's gonna feel the same way for him. Like, I'm so curious about that. That's gonna be so weird. Okay, I'm gonna continue listening now. Cassian felt tension around Nesta. She hasn't really seen them as Faye either, so that's interesting. Oh my god, she's talking. I haven't heard their voices yet. Ooh. Mommy? Oh my god. Cassian's eyes were longing for Nesta. That's so cute. Elaine is taking it really hard. That's so sad. Okay, Elaine's voice reaction. I have never heard her talk. Oh, she sounds young. She sounds so depressed. It's like, she's so like emotionless, but it's like you can hear the hurt in her voice. I guess Lucien's not seeing Elaine. Amren just said, you sound exactly like Tamlin to Feyre. I didn't expect Cassian to be so sweet. Feyre's like, why do you bother, Cassian? The oven's going off, it's fine. He's like, why do you bother, Cassian? And he's like, and there's like a silence, and he's like, because I can't stay away. And I'm like, oh. Completely done with part 2. And there's one more part left. It's about 4 or 5 hours long-ish. So I kind of want to save that for me to actually be like, at least reading along with it, because I know a lot happens, and I know that there's gonna be, I'm not saying this because I know, I'm just assuming there's gonna be deaths. I had suspected that Elaine had a power. When they were saying, is she just crazy? I was like, she's not. She's definitely not just crazy. There's a reason why she's saying all this stuff. But I didn't get any of that right. When she said twin ravens, I was like, oh my god, is the prince and princess alive? Like those little Hodgeburn bitches. Like, are they called Hodgeburn? I was like, are they alive? I was like, great. And then I almost was like, what if Amarantha was alive? I was like, what if? You know? And then I ended up being wrong about both of those. So Elaine saw all that because she is a seer. right? And I was like thinking before that, I was like, what if like she's like sees premonitions, you know? So I was kind of right in a way. So I thought that was cool, but I feel like that was pretty easy to guess overall. Nesta, no idea. The only thing I know about Nesta is that anything that happens to the cauldron affects her because she took so much of the cauldron. It's the queens. They were not happy about that whatsoever, because I remember that when Nesta and Elaine were put into the cauldron, the queens wanted to have youth forever. So when they got dipped in the pool or the cauldron after them, they were not gonna be youthful. They were old, and they're gonna be old forever. They were not happy about that. But Elaine keeps seeing this premonition of like a feathered queen. That's who I thought was Amarantha. I was like, what if, right? So no, it ended up being the 6th queen, which we thought was dead. And everyone thought she's dead, but she's not dead. So now Lucian is finally doing something other than sitting on his ass, waiting for Elaine to finally notice him. He offered to go find the 6th queen. They had that whole meeting, by the way, and then everyone was there. Feyre, Rhysand, all of the Dawn Court, king and queen. Yeah, so everyone ended up agreeing with them. And then, but Tamlin, before that, Tamlin was being a little and he was just basically complaining and just bringing up personal stuff about Feyre and his like sex life to Rhysand that was just gonna like make him mad. Tamlin said something to make Feyre really upset, and they were talking about Amarantha and Rhysand and their times or whatever, and she exploded in rage. She like had fire and water. And speaking of water with Feyre's powers, while they were fighting, I'm driving back and forth, but it's okay because you guys know, because you've read the book. When they were fighting in the summer court, Feyre literally took water and like shoved it down this dude's throat, and he's like choking on it, and he is scratching at his neck because he can't get the water out. That is so scary. First of all, that is so scary. She's scary. But either way, I'm really enjoying it. Besides the political stuff, I'm understanding it decently. Like, but there have been some parts that I have went to Carrie's video to get further explanation on because I got a little confused. But I feel like that's normal when it comes to books like this. Like, this specific book is very much about the war and politics of everything that's going on. So yeah, I hope all of that made sense. I'm sorry I didn't get any clips of me actually reading yesterday, and I'm really excited to finish this book. There's so much that happened, but I'm sure you already know, but I'm just going to touch on the parts that I really loved. I love the part where Feyre transformed into Ianthe, who had been killed by the Weaver at this point, though. She transformed into her and snuck into the Highburn camp to get Elaine because they kidnapped her. And I thought that part was so cool. And like, Feyre was trying to fly. She was trying to fly and she couldn't fly. And she felt this spring wind come under her in a way. And freaking Tamlin showed up and helped her. And I was like, it's about time he did something. It is about time. I have a feeling now we learned a lot about Mor and why Mor hadn't been giving Azriel any chances, because she prefers women. And I feel like I definitely saw that coming. But I feel like since now we learned so much about her and she was very vulnerable with that part of her, I worry now that she's gonna die. And it's because, like, I feel like that was something that she really wanted Feyre to know, and that the author maybe really wanted us to know. And I feel like when things like that happen, when you learn a part of a person that's so, like, vulnerable and things like that, they just end up dying in the book, because it's like, oh, here's this last tidbit of information to kind of, like, give you, like a heartwarming moment. And then they die. So now I'm worried. I'm confused because Azriel gave Elaine his obsidian sword or knife or something like that, and she was like, I don't really know how to use this. And Feyre was watching this exchange, like, what's going on? And then Rhysand was like, I've never seen him give that to anybody. So now I'm confused. And also, where's Lucian? Where did he go? He's gone, and I know where he is. He's going to find the Feather Queen or whatever, but he hasn't returned. So I wonder if he's going to come back. But the craziest thing that is going on is that Feyre got the bone carver and the other thing, I forget his name. I think it starts with a B. I forget his name. It's a mouthful. But he got those two to fight for her. The creature that's in the bottom of the library. She got those two people to fight for her. And then Rhysand went and got the Weaver to fight for them too. And I'm like, I really don't know how it's going to turn out. And I'm so nervous and I'm so excited to listen to it. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to listen to the rest of the audiobook because I'm really enjoying the voices and I paid for it. So we have 2 hours and 9 minutes left. And I'm going to sit here and listen to the whole thing. I'm so ready to be done with it. Well, not be done, but like I want to know the final resolution. And every time I think about it, my heart starts like beating really fast because I just want to know what happens. And Grookey is here with me to be with me on this journey. And I'm so nervous. Bryaxis. Oh my gosh. Grayson? Eris? Talent? What's happening? What's wrong with Cassian? Dude, the cauldron just blasted out. Like, Hybern used, the king used the cauldron, and Nesta, like, saw that it was gonna, like, shoot where, like, Cassian was, and the way, like, the voice actors screamed Cassian, oh my god, that made me emotional. And also the cauldron just, like, completely obliterated the bone carver. Completely obliterated him. How is Hybern so big? Oh my god. I'm gonna cry. Oh, their dad. His dad. Okay. He named the ships after them. Oh my gosh, that makes me emotional. That made me emotional. I think it's like an audiobook. Makes it more like, oh my gosh. Okay. That made me emotional. I'm okay. That's so crazy. Oh, he knew the whole time. Their father was gathering people. Oh my god. A firebird! Vasa, the lost queen! The king just snapped the Weaver's neck. And you know how powerful the Weaver is? Like, he literally snapped her neck and threw her to the hounds. Oh my god, how is he that powerful? And Nesta is trying to bait the king right now. No. The king has their dad. Oh my god. Just letting you know, the king just snapped their dad's neck. And it was so sad. And Nesta literally, like, this sucks. Yeah, why did Amber betray Feyre? Why did she lie? I want to know, what is that all about? Oh, right! Ooh. Wow. No. I swear to God. This is not happening. Oh, Tamlin. Come on. Amber? Oh my god. Cute. The next one's the one about Christmas, right? Something like that. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. I thought that I would probably enjoy it less than the second book, but I think I enjoyed it more. And I don't know. I think I maybe enjoyed it about the same. It's just that I kind of thought that maybe I wouldn't like it as much because it would have been more about the war and politics and things like that. But I actually really, really liked it. And I think one of my favorite parts of this entire book was when Feyre transformed into Ianthe. I obviously got pretty emotional as well when the dad like came and he named the ships after them. I thought that was very heartwarming, and it actually like really sucked that he finally shows up and then he's dead. I really thought more people were gonna die, like more of our main characters, and I kind of think that the author wanted an important character to die, and I think that's why she like brought back the dad. And in some ways I get it, and I don't want any of our main characters to die, but it almost seemed kind of unrealistic that none of them died. I knew that she wasn't going to kill Rhysand. That's why, I mean, in some parts it got really emotional because the audiobook is so good. They convey their emotions very well. And I got like teary-eyed, but I knew he wasn't going to die. I knew she wasn't going to. If she killed off Rhysand, that would have been very interesting, but I don't like want that to happen. Now I worry about Nesta, but I guess that's why the last book is about her. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the world building and like the war and the politics, and I really thought I wasn't going to enjoy it as much as the second book, but honestly, like I really liked learning about the magic and the world and just how the author describes like the bone carver, the weaver, the Suriel, like all of these different characters, and just the library also was so cool. It was just honestly like such a good book, and I got a little emotional. Not a lot of books can do that, but the audiobook was awesome. I loved listening to the graphic audio of it, and I loved being able to follow along with the book. I'm so excited to eventually get to A Court of Silver Flames, which is the longest book in the series. I'm happy I closed the chapter on Feyre's story, and I really wonder if Elaine is gonna have a book as well. I think she might. I've heard things, but I'm not sure if it's true. But I really hope she has a book. Welcome back. I've filmed like 3 intros and outros in this one spot, so I'm like tired of talking. Yeah, so this book, I have full on decided that this is not a 5-star, but it is a 4.5 star. Literally the reason being, the stakes weren't high enough. And to me, the dad was brought in just to kill him. I think that the author wanted deaths. I think she wanted deaths, right? But don't get me wrong, I didn't want Rhysand to die. I don't want Rhysand to die. But Amren definitely could have stayed dead. And that sounds like really bad, but it's just the fact that she randomly survived. Not even survived. She randomly got all her memories back or whatever. I don't even know what it was. She wasn't necessarily going to die, but she was just going to lose. Like, she was going to turn back into what she was before. To me, it's weird that everyone survived. And that sounds so bad, I know, but I just feel like that bothers me like a little bit. Like, of course, if any of like our main people died, I would be devastated, of course, but someone should have died. Come on, like the dad was brought back for 2 chapters or something just for the Highborn King to like snap his neck or whatever it was. So that's kind of what I think about that, and that's why I'm bringing it down to a 4.5. Everything else in this book was amazing. Like, I love the world. I loved how, I've mentioned this a few times, loved how Feyre transformed into, was it Ianthe, to go into that camp and save Elaine. That was so cool. I love that. Love the bone carver. I mean, he died. I know he died and the Suriel died, but like, you guys know what I mean. The stakes weren't that high. Like, they seemed really high in the beginning, but they really weren't. Because she knew what she was doing. She didn't want to kill anybody. So that's kind of what I think about this book. Anyway, 4.5 star. Again, really enjoyed this book. Can't wait to read the last one. And that is the end of today's video. And again, if you stuck around for the whole thing, thank you so much for watching. And happy Bookmas. I decided to do this last minute before, like, I was filming this video for a while and I didn't even know I was doing Bookmas until way later on. So yeah, happy Bookmas, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. I don't know what the video is going to be yet. That's the end of this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. But I appreciate you guys sticking around, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!